Welcome to my next video of DevOps and SOCs, and today I'm going to be deploying the demo that I worked through last time with you guys. And I'm going to take you through the different steps and exactly how to deploy it from a networking standpoint and just all the commands that you have to work through. And happy Thanksgiving! I'm home in Virginia, so that's why it looks a little bit different. And there's a fireplace behind me because I'm at my parents' house, but here we go. Alright, so to deploy the demo and go through the steps of setting it up, what you're going to want to do is navigate to this repo. So go to aka.ms ACI demos, or just go to GitHub and then my repo name. And it has all the steps written out for what you want to do, but you'll need to have the Azure CLI installed in your terminal. You'll also need to have yourself logged into Azure, and then you'll need the Kubernetes CLI. But I have all of that set up, so I'm going to go ahead and create a new resource group. So I'm going to call it my resource group in East, and then the location is going to be East US. And within this resource group, what we'll be able to do is deploy our AKS cluster inside of that. So to deploy the cluster, do easy AKS create, and then so my RG East, and then we're going to call it K cluster and specify the amount of nodes you want. So I just want one node. Let's make this a little bit bigger and generate SSH keys. So it makes the setup is super easy. And I've actually already deployed a demo in the background beforehand that I'm using, but what you'll want to do if you're deploying this for the first time is after this you'll have to AZ AKS get credentials, and that'll just update your kubeconfig so you can use this cluster. So I'm going to stop that from running, and I'm just going to continue to use the cluster that I already have. Alright, so the next thing you'll need to do is just clone this repo so you get all my files. I'm already in the repo. If I do an ls, you can see all the different folders I have in here. And then make sure Helm is installed. So you'll need to do a Helm init on a fresh cluster. And then do Helm versions just to make sure that your client and your server side are good to go. And here I am, I'm connected and all good to go. And the next thing is to install this kube Lego from Helm. And you have to update the Lego email with an email that you own. Alright, so now I'm here, so just update it with your email. Enter that in, and it's going to deploy the kube Lego from Helm, so you don't need to really know what's going on in the background. You just need to know that you need it, but you can go to the documentation and figure out what you need. But basically it sets up some certificates for you so you can use your domain that you set up. So that's all good to go. And the last thing you need to do, but the next thing you need to do is deploy this ingress controller. So it'll deploy a backend for you, a front end for the controller. And there you go, we're good to go. And we just deployed this actually in the kube system namespace. So what you're gonna wanna do is alias that namespace. And the way you do that is alias that. I want to do this. Kubectl namespace equals kube system. So this will just make your life a little bit easier. So go ahead and alias that, and then you can do ks get svc. So this will get your services, and what we're waiting for is an IP address. So it's pending right now from this controller. And once we get that IP, we're going to grab it and we're going to make a DNS zone in Azure and basically just place that in. But let's go to some networking stuff first. So you're going to need to have your own domain name. You can go ahead and register it in Google or with GoDaddy or whatever you want. And so I'm going to use this one. And I'll have like some different name servers in this too, which you'll have to add. So once you make that, go ahead and go to Azure and let's make something new. We're going to create a resource group and I'm going to call it, let's see, so DNS name for container demo. Let's put it in West US 2, it's fine. So I'm using the UI right now, but it just makes it easier for this. And then I'm going to navigate to DNS zone. Click that, create it, and put in the domain name you made. So I made container demos, use existing. So we can just find it, right? There it is. And create that. In here, you'll see that we have these different values. So go ahead and click that. Take all of these name servers and paste them in your Google domain or your GoDaddy or wherever it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and just literally copy, and these are my old ones. So now I have new ones. Copy, paste. I'm just gonna do it for all 4 of these. And I'm not, yeah, okay. So that looks good. This looks good too. All right, so I did a kubectl get pods all namespaces, and you can see that I have my backend, my ingress controller, and my kube Lego all running. So that's great to see. So let's just do ks get services again. And we've got an IP, so copy that IP, go in here to your record set, and you're gonna need to make a new record set in the name. And just put an asterisk for name, so this way we'll be able to reach like different names for it. So we'll be going to like fr.container demos like you saw before, and paste in the IP address, change the time to live to seconds to 1 second, and there we go. So it's creating that record set, and that's all you have to do for the networking side of things. The last thing you need to do in here is going to be, we need to update the hosts in one of our files. There we go. So here we are. And paste in that IP address. And here just type in fr.container demos, right? So this is going to be the front end that this IP is going to need to reach. So that's all you got to do there. And then one more thing. So navigate, let me show you in the terminal what you have to do. So let's go back into my ACI demos folder and go into charts. So I was there, go into FR demo, I was there, and then see values and use whatever text editor you want. But what we're gonna do is go update everything that says domain name, just replace it with that domain name that you registered. So my domain name is container demos. So I'm gonna go ahead, and I'm using Atom for this, but you can use VS Code or whatever else, and go ahead and just update this with container demos, or you're gonna have to use your own domain name for this part. I'm gonna copy and just paste it. So here for the secrets part, for the hosts, replace all of those things. All right, and save that. And then everything else has already been set up for you. So now we're at the point where we can go ahead and actually just deploy all of this, right? So if we go back to my repo, we're up to here now. We can go ahead and deploy the demo and see if everything's working out.